All right, good morning. Yes, out there, thank you for joining Insightful Morning Show. Then today we are going to be taking a look at a number of strategic national issues, as well as international scene. We'll be taking a look at the Somaliland recognition by Israeli government, as well as President Donald Trump has been alerted to by Senator Ted Cruz about the need to recognize Somaliland. In the home front, we are taking a look at a number of national issues as they affect the Nigerian people. Joining me on Zoom this morning on the Insightful Morning Show is Comrade Sunday Adegbe, all the way from Kwara State, as well as Pastor Lawrence from Southeastern States. Welcome to Insightful Morning Show. I'm your host, Mr. Ako Christian Oche, otherwise known as Due Process, and I'm glad to have you listening to us via YouTube, whichever part of the world you are joining this morning. Comrade Degbe, are you on standby to reel out the headlines for today?
Yes, thank you. Today's topic, recurring cycle of truck accidents during Christmas procession in Nigeria. An act of terrorism or accident, Gombe and Plateau in perspective. 2. Somaliland's recognition and implication for Nigeria. 3. Peter Obi ADC declaration and implication on PDP and Labour Party membership base. 4. Anthony Joshua auto crash at Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Emphasis on speed limits. That is it.
All right, thank you, Comrade Degbe Sunday. We have just few headlines for today, and starting with the first item. What's the first on the item, Comrade Degbe Sunday?
Recurring cycle of truck accident during Christmas procession in
Yes,
Nigeria.
there has been a recurring cycle of truck accidents in Nigeria, particularly in northern states. Gombe, in particular, have had repeated cycle of truck accidents during Christmas and Easter procession. And it happened in the year 2023, it happened in the year 2024. Now in 2025, it's happening in Plateau State. So, what can be described of this recurring cycle of truck accident where truck seem to roam into Christians that are on procession along the road paths, and it happened in Gombe State where dozens of people were killed by that truck accident. It was a very ugly situation. Until this moment, there have been no investigation to get to the root of the matter, whether it was actually a truck accident or another invention into terrorism. You know, terrorism is all about unaliving people by virtue of the faith or the religion that they profess. And in this instance, we are still in the mood of Christian genocide, making the headline across a global stage. In particular, it has become a very negative incident, and it has painted Nigeria in a very negative picture in the global community, where President Donald Trump has even ordered an airstrike against terrorists in Nigeria, in particular Sokoto State, where it was believed that terrorists were holding a meeting on how to commence the next attack against Christian communities, where the intel was perfectly executed by the release of the U.S. strike against these terrorists. So, Comrade Edegbe Sunday, You have been a very regular analyst on this program, and with what has transpired in Plateau State, and given the repeated cycle of these truck accidents, so to say, that is now taking the toll of genocide against Christians. What's your opinion? Are you seeing it as an accident, or is a systematic way to target the Christian population who were seen to be on procession during the festive period? It is expected that when vehicles are approaching a procession point, they are expected to slow down, reduce their speed limits, ensure that there is no casualty of any form. But lately, this fashion of roaming into procession in Gombe State, as well as now the latest one in Plateau State. What's your opinion? Is it an accident or another version of terrorism in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, due process. Well,
Yeah, thank you.
I may not be able to ascertain what actually what actually the root cause of the accident. But I want to make it clear that we all know that terrorism, can come up in a different form.
Mm.
It can come up in a different form. If somebody can put explosive device in his or her body to go
Mm.
and kill people in the church or in the mosque, so it's a very smart thing for them to pretend to be driving a truck or what have you to run into a Christian community or a Muslim community. Let me generalize it. So to me, anything can happen. It may be an act of terrorism, and it may not be. That's why I say I cannot ascertain. And maybe the road too is bad. We don't know the nature of the road yet. Then we also don't know if the driver is drunk or one thing or the other that make him to run into a place of that nature. So
Okay.
that is my submission on that.
Okay. On
So
that note,
because we are not there, we have not seen the picture of the road, we have not seen the nature of the driver. If the driver is alive or the drivers are alive, we have not seen the result of their mental health or what have you to be able to ascertain what transpired. But the truth is that terrorism can be carried out in any form. That is
okay.
the truth.
Thank you, comrade. While we call on the federal safety, as well as the Nigerian police force to carry out extensive investigation into the matter to provide feedback as to what actually transpired. Was it a brake failure? Was it a genuinely accident? Or is another version of terrorism that is beginning to take the heel upon Nigerian lives? So while we progress on the insightful morning show, comrade, looking at the array of headlines for this morning discussion, what's your take on the second item?
Somaliland recognition and implication for Nigeria. Maybe you can expatiate it for me to talk about it.
Yes, Somaliland uh, gained independence in the year 1960, June to be precise, but they seem to align, they rather aligned with Somalia so that they form a joint government. So they've since been under the government of the Somalia, and given the trend of persecution and genocide against the Christian population in that country, Somaliland have chosen a different direction. And the Israeli government, ably led by the Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, has recognized Somaliland as a government, and this has not really gone down well with Qatari officials who saw the recognition as questionable, and as well as the Turkish government. They've all been talking very tough against the recognition of Somaliland as a country by the Israeli government. And breaking another latest development on the Somaliland recognition is the Senator of the United States, Senator Ted Cruz, who has called on the United States President, President Donald Trump, to recognize Somaliland as a country. And this, if you look at it side by side, you just see advocates of terrorism on one hand, uh, advocates of terrorism genocide on one hand, opposing the recognition by the Israeli government, and pro-Israeli anti-terrorism stand, who are also supporting and recognizing the government of Somaliland, the latest country in the world, where even the Indian people seem to be aligning with the Israeli decision to recognize the country of Somaliland. So looking at this broader implication on a region that accommodates, that sympathizes with terrorism, a region that distance themselves from terrorism, looking at the Nigerian situation, where we have a very polarized divide between the North and the South. And given the antecedents of Biafra, as well as the Civil War of 1966, and the latest development of terrorism in Nigeria, and the complicity of the Tinubu-led APC government. I'm just looking at this in a broader perspective, and seeing if the government of Nigeria fails to fight terrorism and ensure that terrorism is brought to an end, and all forms of genocide against Christian population is actually brought to a conclusive end. I'm seeing a sort of crack that may come up in the coming years should this terrorism as well as genocide against Christian population continues. What's your thought on that, given the recognition of Somaliland and the implication on Nigeria polarized situation as a country? You understand there are also agitation from the Odudua group, who are also demanding for a country of their own. All these come as a result of the complicity of the government that holds in the center to tackle terrorism and provide good governance for their people. What's your take on this?
Well, let me just base it on Nigeria. And I also want to, on one hand, congratulate Somaliland. Like what I understand now, the Israeli government are behind them to stand alone. Is also ravaging the nation, the place. Am I right?
Yes, to add to it, to further spotlight the background so that you have a better grip of the explanation I'm trying to make. You understand, one of the Somali refugee who found her way to the United States in person of Ekan has lately challenged President Donald Trump intervention when it comes to ending terrorism globally. He has maintained a very hard line against the president. And in a situation where there has been a massive call for her to be deported out of the country and be the U.S. citizen that was gotten through the back door. She was alleged to have married her brother as a way to actually gain U.S. citizen, which has gained global attention. It was described as a fraud and calling for her removal from the Senate. So this has been a very dicey matter, and being that a lot of Somali refugees are in the United States of America, where some of them have been accused of faking illnesses to gain some sort of intervention from the United States government. And ECAN has been accused of side funding some of these health benefits to her home country. So these are some of the situations on ground. And with the creation of Somaliland out of Somalia now, you can see that technically there's more to this battle in the international scene.
So thank you very much. So Somaliland is a Christian an aspect of the
Yes, it's
of
Christian
the
dominated part of Somalia.
yeah. So you see, what I want to say is that terrorism, as of today, is taking over many places across the world.
Mm.
And I want to give it to the United States of America, headed by President Donald Trump, and the Israeli government for standing for the truth. They are this Somaliland now, as is standing alone, and some very powerful countries are supporting them to stand alone, is because of this, for them to have peace.
Mm.
Since the terrorism, issue is going on in all those places, so they are doing that to ensure that they are safe. Just the same thing we are facing here in Nigeria.
Mm.
In Nigeria today, I know one day the Igbos will get what they are looking for. It may not be now. Nobody know when it's going to happen. And also the Yorubas are also agitating for Odua Republic. If this issue of terrorism continue, although I know it's going to come to an end very soon in Nigeria with what we are seeing now, because there's another, Air Force strike in Zamfara or thereabouts of recent
Okay.
after Sokoto. Mhm. So if they start killing them like that, at least within a year or 2 years, I don't think terrorism will continue in Nigeria. But I
Mm.
also hope that they should just continue with the way they are doing it now. Because those people cannot live in the mix of human. They cannot live in the midst of human. I begin to ask myself question. Is it the same women that gave birth to these children today, these terrorists? Or what made them to become terrorists? Why did they choose to be a terrorist? Is it that they did not, they did not go to school, they are not educated, or because some of them speak very fine, were they not
Yes,
educated?
let me respond
So,
to your your question. You seem to underrate the power of psychology. You know, a number of these people have been psychologically indoctrinated. Their mindsets have been twisted to believe the wrong narrative that the idea of schooling on its own is even haram. You know, they've painted the Western world black, and that killing the Westerners is an art of appeasing the God which they serve. So these are some of the things that make them to do what they do, and they feel their justification is in heaven. That whatever they do, they have rewards awaiting them, and they believe killing non-believers is an art of religious exercise, a commandment called by their own God. So these are some of the things that they believe. And fighting a belief system is the only weapon that can successfully fight a belief system is education, a proper education and the reorientation. When we talk about education, there are education that are useful to the people as well as to an individual, for instance, as well as the society. But in an instance where the education, the knowledge an individual has been able to gain over the years is not useful to himself, neither the community, then such education become a dysfunctional education. So there are dysfunctional education. That's why you see even a professor who have attained high level of academic training are still believing in some of this indoctrinated ideology, you know. So I just want to point that out so that you
Thank
have
you.
a
Thank
proper
you.
perspective how individuals can be brainwashed, how individuals can be psychologically twisted to believe certain narrative. They even believe that there are 72 virgins waiting for them, you know. So all these are twisted belief system that has affected the way they reason and how they become even more committed to this crime. But then in psychology as well, when there is a deterrent, the likelihood of having a repeat of an event will decline. So in the Nigerian system, for instance, there is no deterrent. The Nigerian government has been petting them over the years, even giving them amnesty, giving them, funds, and even I learned from a friend who is, of course, in the military, told me that in Meduguri there is no difference between civilian JTF that they call it and those repentant Boko Haram and the military. There is no difference because they are all carrying their rifle, you know. So how do you want to provide peace in such environment, in such a country? There cannot be peace. Non-state actors carrying their weapon without any fear of confrontation. So that is why the Nigerian situation has remained in this very quagmire that we are today. So the only way you can solve such a situation is this disarmament. You disarm the entire terrorists. Those who seek peace, you disarm them, and those who are not interested, you clear them off. That's just the only way. So you can go on, please.
Let me just buttress what you have just analyzed now. Don't you also think that drug addict is also part of it that ginger them to do this evil thing? Yeah, I'm looking at
Uh,
it that
drug,
taking
drug,
hard drugs
drug.
like cocaine or what have you can also
You
make
see,
them
talking
okay.
about
Go
drug,
ahead. Mm.
drug, cocaine, and all that. All this influence, the excesses. It influence what is already within you. For instance, when somebody is drunk and he carries out certain acts, they say no, it's because he's drunk. Uh, because you are drunk does not mean that you start performing march past that you are not familiar with. I don't know if you are getting the point. So when you
Yeah.
are drunk or the influence of any substance, it only increases the ability that you have within. The traits within you will be made to become excessively manifested. That's the influence of drugs, right? Or any hard substance. It makes you to carry out an action in an excessive manner. So if, for instance, you don't believe in killing, even if you are under the influence of drug, you cannot suddenly carry knife and start slaughtering somebody's head. I don't know if you are getting the point I'm making. But when you
Yeah.
believe that unaliving an individual is the way forward, is the only way to heaven, then when you are under the influence of drug, you will be unaliving so many people without looking back. But if that is not within your cultural space or within your belief system, there is no way you are going to do that.
Yeah.
So
Thank you
that's
very
my
much.
submission to the influence of drugs.
I think we should go to number 3.
Okay, number 3 is what?
Peter Obi ADC declaration and implication on PDP and LP membership base.
Yes, PO has declared he's already in the AD, he'll be joining the ADC, of course. He is not joining alone. He'll be joining with his entourage globally, not just nationally. You know, P2B is a movement. Is the organic movement that shakes the entire global space. You recall when he organized the space, just 4 hours notice, and the space recorded 74,000 listeners globally. So if such a force is now ratifying his membership, of course, don't get it twisted. You recall that even in the space, he clarified that he's not new to the ADC coalition. As a matter of fact, he's a founding member and a believer of the coalition. He even narrated how he was part of the sponsors of the coalition in terms of donations that were made for this coalition. So him now formalizing his membership with the ADC is a very way forward. I mean, it's a welcome development, and it will uplift the status of the ADC to an enviable height. You can already see the APC are jittery. They are jittery and they are confused. They are very worried. For them to be making posts about it shows that they are very, very uncomfortable. So that's my submission, and it will really, really make a very huge impact on the ADC. And I want to also sound a caution to the ADC leadership uh, to uh, to adhere to transparency, right? Transparency, credibility, and they should learn to put Nigeria first in whatever decisions they'll be taking going forward. Because I don't see Mr. P2B being part of any arrangement that will not put the country first. So for them to continue to maintain the momentum and sustain the momentum, they must put Nigerian people first in whatever negotiation or discussions that they'll be holding. So I wish, I want to personally welcome the Mr. P2B and his entourage into the ADC as we look forward to his official announcement in some few hours' time.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I
thank you.
know, every one of us know that Mr. Peter Obi is a force. Now, I know that APC as a party is running, they are running scatter. The members are running scatter. Immediately, they had the announcement of Mr. Peter Obi. officially come declaring for ADC. Now, PDP, I saw a news this morning. Even Makinde team, most of the Makinde team are going with Mr. Peter Obi to ADC. And Labour Party now is going down. Because even I saw I saw something this morning. The Obedient South-South, they have mandated all Obedient South-South to go and obtain ADC membership card from the grassroots. So I believe every zone of the nation, the 6th geopolitical zone, I believe they are going to do the same thing. Everybody will go and collect a membership card. So people that are going with Mr. Peter Obi, they are very many. Take it, for example, look at COPDEM now. COPDEM is about 5 million now, thereabouts, members. Look at the obedient, although some of the members of COPDEM are also obedient members. APC, PDP, and some other political parties are coming with Mr. Peter Obi. So ADC is going to, by special grace of God, is going to be in Aso Rock come 2027. I know it's Mr. Peter Obi that will be there. Let every one of us, my advice to everybody, let everybody go and obtain the membership card now, ADC membership card, and stand and take a place in the award so to be able to do something great during the primary election. It's a welcome development. I congratulate ADC and Mr. Peter Obi and the entourage. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. One the last item on our list is the Turkish government have been fingered for sponsorship of terrorism in Nigeria. So we are still calling on the relevant authorities, the DSS, the NIA, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police, and the independent social media space to advocate for true investigation into this matter, because Nigeria cannot afford to go to sleep knowing fully well that Turkey has been fingered for promoting, sponsoring, supporting, providing logistics for Boko Haram to continue activities in Nigeria against the Nigerian people. So it is on this note that are calling on for a proper investigation into the matter to ascertain the veracity of this claim by the CBN News, the Egyptian-based television that have raised alarm on this matter. So you can have your contribution on the subject matter, Comrade Edegbe Sunday.
You have said it all. They have to, special investigation have to carry out, to know if the Turkey government really involved in that act. So if that's happened, because I also saw in news, I don't know how true is that, allegedly, I saw in news that the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are negotiating with the Turkey government to help them also fight insecurity in Nigeria. So if that happens, that is to say, we are the problem of ourselves. Though I don't know how true is that news. So Turkey, they need to investigate the Turkey government if they have hand in it, and they have hand in it. America should help us, to do the needful, because Nigeria cannot do anything to any country, even if we find out it is true. What are we going to do? It is only America or Israel government that can help us, to find out. They know how to treat them. They know what to do, if that is true.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Comrade. We have overshot our time now, and we've come to the end of the insightful morning show. What makes this show very interesting and different is that we introspect, we look ahead of the future, and look into the possibility of what is likely to happen, how it will affect the life of the citizen, as well as how to prevent it, and provide advisory information to the government of the day to see how they can be able to overcome the present pressing challenges. And of course, we understand that there was a tragic incident, an auto crash involving Anthony Joshua, the heavyweight champion in Nigeria, along Ibadan, Lagos Expressway. This is a very ugly situation, and we are happy that he survived the auto crash. But then there were two lives that were lost on the process. So, condolence to the bereaved, and we wish the family the fortitude to bear this irreparable loss at this point. And we also wish to call on the Nigerian government to expedite action and provide support to this victim of the auto crash, as well as take a critical look into the causative factor for this auto crash and how to prevent further road accidents. We understand the Federal Road Safety fingered overspeeding as part of the likely cause of the road accident that occurred along that road. But then the Nigerian roads currently are a mess, and we called for a total overhaul of the road, Nigerian roads, make it roadworthy in the first place before we can talk about driver, negligence or overspeeding as cause for road accidents. On this note, we'll be wrapping up the show, the Insightful Morning Show. Thank you, our guests. Thank you, Comrade Rigby Sunday. Thank you, Pastor Lawrence. Thank you, viewers out there, for being part of this show. Until we come your way tomorrow, do have a lovely day ahead of you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. So viewers out there, please remember to subscribe to COPDEM Media TV so that you get notification of our subsequent edition. Until we come your way, goodbye and stay blessed. All right, comrade, bye-bye. Pastor Lawrence, bye-bye.